Hey there, in this tutorial I will show you how to create a Vampirio Engine program using Vampirio Code. The first thing you have to do is go to File, New Build and C++, then select Vamp Engine for MSVC. Let's delete everything. Let's start from include IOStream to short the code. We will be using namespace std, and now very important, you have to include our engine. Our engine is called Vampirio Engine, but for a shortened version we include this vamp.h. Now we have to we have to create our main function okay. And now our main function have to return 0 to check, to tell that the program is okay and finished. Okay. Let's try it and everything works fine. Let's start. So to continue checking everything fine. Everything is fine and like okay. Everything is fine. So we need to instantiate our engine. For that, we have to create an instance of Vamp engine called engine, and now we should do this. The first is to init for initialization. The second is to run the program, and let's try with F5. Everything works fine, but we never instantiated the Vamp engine. So new Vamp engine, and we try now with F5. As you can see, this is a white screen, so the engine is running and it's working well. Now we need to declare 3 functions for an event that will happen next to this code. So let's define them here. We need an onInit. We need on update with a parameter called delta time, and we need an onPaint. Okay. Now what we need now? We need an implementation of the declarations. So let's create the onInit. Let's create the on update float delta time, and let's create an onPaint. The 3 functions are called in order. First, onInit will be called once. Then onUpdate will be called for each frame, and the same for onPaint. First, we the engine called onUpdate, and then call onPaint, and then call onUpdate, and then call onPaint. So now we should add with our functions as events. Okay. The way we do that is called engine onInit equals onInit, then engine onUpdate equals onUpdate, onUpdate, and engine onPaint equals onPaint. Let's press F5 to check if everything is okay. Yes, everything is okay. So engine onInit, when we here engine onInit, when we call engine init and then run, This is called once, as we told before. So here we can instantiate our sprites, our textures, everything. Then on paint we will, on update we will writing the logic of the code, and on paint we should write the code for painting. Now, what we could do to test if everything works fine, we will use a class called GFX for graphics, and we will fill a rectangle. Yes, we will use color components. The first parameter here is color, so the first component is red, next green, and next blue. So the final component is the transparent, or the alpha channel. This is these are hexadecimal color components for each color called RGB. You may saw RGB in televisions or things like that, displays, etc. Now we need a position in the X coordinates, position in the Y coordinate, and a size, for example 150 for the height. This is the width and this is the height. Let's try it. We have an error here on line 36, identifier not found, here, and the error is that this method is called fillRect. Sorry for that, fillRect. And here we can see a red rectangle. So what can we do? We can create an X variable with a 0, and then we can put it here in the X position and increment it on paint frame. Okay, so let's try and let's see how the rectangle moves to the right. Now what we could do, we can create another variable for the Y position, and we can here, let's delete this and use the Y here. Here we can check for any key pressed. Okay, so for that we should call keyboard is down, and the key, for example, left. If the key is left, we decrement X, and let's see how this works. If I press left, the rectangle moves to the left. So now let's copy and paste this. Let's create an else, and we do the same for the right key, but now we will increment the X. Let's see how this works. As you can see, the rectangle moves from left to right, and finally we can do this. We can create now the same for up and the same for down. Okay, Y and Y, and let's check it out. Here is our player, a rectangle player. Well, this is all for today.